This is Anderson Penn's podcast episode 216 for Wednesday, February 8th, 2017.
Take
this
two.
is Brian. This is just going downhill fast.
I don't know what happened last time.
I guess the audio folks don't know the debacles that are going on, so we'll just leave it at that. Here we are. Hopefully you can hear me. They can hear the song. Great.
Awesome. Finally.
Hopefully the video is playing, so I'm going to double check on that. But in the meantime, Lisa's going to talk about Incorrimo. Go.
Brian's giving me a hard time. I started off strong for Incorrimo, International Correspondence Writing Month, and I wrote two in one day, which I thought was pretty good. And then I needed addresses, and I didn't have stamps. So I just kind of faltered, which is pretty much how it works for me. But I've decided I'm just going to lock myself away for an hour, write several to stock up for while we're gone. We're going to be on the road and at the LA Pen Show for 7 or 8 days. And I'm not going to get any writing done then. I'm going to hand deliver several of them so I don't have to rely on the stamp issue.
Your hand delivering? Who are you going to hand deliver to?
I'm not telling. It's going to be a surprise.
Wow, that was angry.
Hey, remember a couple years ago, we had one slipped under our door.
We did have one slipped under the door in the middle of the night, no less, and that person may or may not be in the chat.
My God, that was so funny. Well, what about you?
I have one right here in my hands with a stamp on it, and special.
Bragging.
Well, it's the 8th, and I've got one, so I'm
Okay.
not really bragging. I have to make it downstairs to the mailbox in order for that to really count. But special props to the Incorrimo participant who sent us stamps.
That was amazingly sweet and thoughtful and very smart.
Well, the funny thing was, so I wrote this letter. And I went downstairs to talk to Dave. I said, do we have any stamps? Because I know one time we had a book of stamps in one of the file cabinets. He says, no, I don't think so. The mailman literally came 5 seconds later, dropped this off. I opened it up, and sure enough, there were some stamps. So it was meant to be. So, yes, I have one written, and I think, the thing is it's you don't have to spend an hour to write a letter. And I think some people, we could write a post on the top 10 excuses for not participating. And one of them, I'm sure, is you don't have the time. Well, this took me this is a 2-page letter. It probably took me 15 minutes.
So you're bragging again.
No, I'm just, I'm just saying.
Maybe you write faster than I do.
No. I'm just saying you don't have to. You can find a short window of time, and that was a lengthy letter, and there was a reason for it. But you can send a card, and it can take less than 5 minutes from opening up, starting it, slapping a stamp on the envelope. So
That's what I'm doing, cards.
and you got some nice
Short, sweet, and
cards.
to the point.
So anyway,
Dear Brian, I love you.
I haven't seen that one yet, and after this podcast, who knows whether I'll see
You're
one
not getting
again.
one.
So anyway.
I'm really going to try this year. I say that every year, but this is, I think, more than I've gotten so far, so I'm going to try to keep going. Addresses are my downfall this week. Anyway, we mentioned we will be heading out to the LA Pen Show next week. We leave Monday night so that we get to Denver in the morning so we can drive through the Rockies during the day. That's no fun at night.
Very, very calculated, as it were. Every year it snows.
Every year it snows on the way back between Vail and Denver, and it's scary.
It occasionally snows on the way out, but
Not too often.
yeah, coming back is usually a rough trip. But LA Pen Show, sunny LA, it should
Oh
be
my God.
nice.
I'm packing my sandals.
Last year it was unseasonably warm. What was it, 95 degrees?
It was awesome.
This is the 1-year anniversary of killing the Acura.
I think it was today.
Was it today?
I think it was the 8th.
and purchasing our new car in about 15 minutes was about the time frame that we picked it out. Thank goodness it was there, because I don't know what else we would have, there was nothing else that would have worked.
I don't know, we would have figured something out.
But the car died, we bought a new car in 15 minutes, it took 3 hours for the paperwork, which is, I guess, what you would expect. And we got to LA to discover that the air conditioning didn't work and it was unseasonably warm. So that's the executive summary for that. But I think this year there's gonna be some exciting things. If you're in the area, you have to go. If you're
Absolutely.
waddling about, I see this all the time on forums, should I go to a pen show? Yes, 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 go. Absolutely go. There's no place, unless you have a pen store nearby, which is very few of us, there's no place to see that many pens, that many like-minded people anywhere.
Yes, absolutely. It's a huge, huge show. If you can afford to, get the weekend trader pass and do not go on Sunday.
Yeah, don't go on Sunday.
It's
If
crazy.
you're gonna get the weekend trader pass, I mean, you can. It's completely nuts, but, go Friday, Saturday. It's really a much more relaxed atmosphere. You can talk with people.
I mean, it's still busy.
Yeah,
even
it's
on-
busy.
even
Yeah,
on
absolutely.
Friday and Saturday, but Sunday is just, it's like it used to be the day after Thanksgiving shopping. It's just crazy busy. I don't consider it to be fun on Sunday.
For us.
Well, but I mean, even for customers,
Yeah,
they're
it's-
trying to get through the crowds. There are, the aisles are fire marshal approved far enough apart, but once you get a couple people at each table on each side of the aisle, and then you've got other people waiting and trying to get through, it just gets really crowded. It's just not fun.
Yeah, and then the noise level is,
It's loud.
it starts getting
busy.
loud, and, but we're supposed to talk about how fun it is to go to a pen show.
It's an amazing opportunity to see a ton of pens and inks and stationery that you may only see online, and you get to actually hold them. You get to talk to the people who make them, who sell them, who, like Carmen Rivera will be there. And she has an amazing collection of Pilot Vanishing Points. Amazing, bar none. Just to see all of that out there, you're never going to find that anywhere else, even on the web. So to see things like that, it's really cool. People like Michael Sull will be there. Absolutely. Go early, see Michael Sull, and stand there and watch him write your name in Spencerian. It is amazing.
He's given a seminar, isn't he?
Yes, yes. On, what's it say? Saturday.
Did you like that lead in? Was that nice?
That was good. Not
He's
bad.
given a seminar, by the way. Ornamental penmanship techniques of America's legendary handwriting. So, in the summary here, when the steel pen replaced the quill pen in the late 19th century, America's penmen pushed the limits of cursive penmanship beyond the standard convention of Spencerian script. So, and et cetera, et cetera. So, would love to go see that. We never
Never get to leave.
never get a chance to leave, but that sounds like a lot of fun. Mike, he's definitely a guy you have to meet. Don't be shy. Go up, meet him. He's the nicest guy you'd ever want to meet.
The sweetest, most humble man on the planet. And he's probably going to wear his normal vest with his
Vest,
bow tie.
bow tie,
He is
yeah.
just such a darling man.
He's got little round wire rim glasses.
I love him. But amazingly, amazingly talented and just a sweetheart. Absolutely. So go see him. Even years later, the names that he wrote for us, was it in 2013?
Yeah, we still have him.
We still have them. They still look wet.
Yeah. Well, he uses a special kind of
He
ink.
uses a special kind of ink,
I
but
think he makes his own ink, doesn't he?
I don't know.
Mixes it or something.
It's just gorgeous.
So he'll be there. There'll be a couple other seminars. Sam Fiorella is giving her ink seminar. There will be a couple of others. A bunch of them. You check it out on the websites for the LA Pen Show. Susan Worth and others. But there will be a couple other people there that only go to the LA Pen Show. And I'm working my way backwards up the list here.
I guess so.
Iboya will be there from Japan. So that'll be exciting to see what they've been doing in the last year. I know they are, like most other Japanese companies, are very backlogged. They're very popular, so we've had difficulties getting their pens, but they will be there with whatever new creations they have.
Was it last year we bought the pen trays, the ebonite pen
Yes,
trays?
yeah, I've got one on my desk here. It's
Absolutely gorgeous.
It's crazy, yeah. I mean, so they have the pens, but then they also have a couple of little accessories, pen rests, pen trays. I have this multicolored pen tray, and it's, wish I had a picture of it to show on the screen, but it's green and burgundy and black, and it's all modeled, and it's gorgeous, and it holds 2-3 pens. Sits on my desk.
I have one that's more of a wood grain look, but it's sometimes goes
Sometimes attends, and so that will be, he usually sits with Mike Masuyama. They're also right out the door from us, so.
I don't know if he's going to be there since they're so backed up.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. But there'll be some other things going on. Aurora will be, actually, there's some reps from Aurora will be at the Kenro table and announcing a new pen.
Okay.
And it will have, I've seen video of this online, flexible nib, so it should be interesting to see. It looks like it's it reminds me of some of the Omas extra flexible nibs that they came out with. So, and I don't know if that's coming on the 88 or the Optima or what the deal is there, but it looks like a nice nib. I'm sure it will be priced accordingly. And they will be at the Kenro table with that, and I think there are some other announcements coming from Aurora, so that'll be exciting.
Cool.
What else is a highlight? David Oscarson.
I love David Oscarson. I adore him. Granted, his pens are not budget pens by any means, but he is similar to Michael Sull. For a man who deals in such high-end things, David Oscarson is the nicest man. He's so friendly. One of the things that I greatly respect about him is that he does his own setup, and he brings it all in, he sets it all up, he doesn't have any help, he doesn't hire anybody to do it. He does it all by himself.
He's got quite the display, too.
He does. So maybe one of his pens is not in your budget or even on your radar, but go and meet him.
Check him out.
And look at his pens. They're like Fabergé eggs. They are just jewels. Look at him. It's probably one of the few times he only does a couple shows. He's in DC, he's in LA, he's in Dallas.
Yep.
But his pens are just gorgeous. Go and talk to him and see them.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point. Just because something is outside of your budget doesn't mean you shouldn't go and look at it. Most of the vendors are more than happy to show you whatever they have. And that may be your only chance ever to get to see it. So, and especially if this is your one show or you don't get to many shows at all or whatever, it's a good chance to see these things in person. So,
and to meet the people.
And I mean,
that's why you go.
You go
to
for
meet
the people. Yeah, and you buy a couple pens, maybe. So.
What?
Speaking of pens,
Yes.
Next week is one of our favorite holidays.
It is?
Well, this this year I think it is anyway. Valentine's Day is coming up next week. So Valentine's Day around here means
The anniversary of when we got engaged.
well, yes, it does. This isn't going how I expected it to go, but yes, as a matter of fact, that is true.
Brian gets a pen.
At least you get a pen too, so we give
I know.
it's.
You get a much bigger pen.
It doesn't matter.
I know. Brian gets a pen. That's exciting.
It's been sitting on my desk. It's right over there, and that'll be nice. Are we gonna do this before we leave?
Yeah, maybe.
Because what is Monday? Monday is the 13th, and we leave on Monday, so it would be just awkward. We'd bring the boxes and all that.
We're not going to bring the
mess.
boxes.
We'll just do it Monday. We could do it Sunday night if you wanted.
Why don't we just do it now?
We do it perfect. Everybody, you heard it.
No.
I'm just gonna reach over and grab it.
No.
So, So hopefully you've suggested to your significant other a pen that you would like for Valentine's Day.
Or it doesn't have to be a
I
pen.
think it should be a pen. I'm all about the pen.
I know. And what is it you think that you're getting this?
I might be
Valentine's Day?
getting a Sailor Sky, Pro Gear Sky,
King of Pen?
King of Pen. Yep. Since they are being discontinued, I want to grab one while I still can. Because I know we've sold some to some of our friends, and if I don't get one, they're going to constantly bring them out at pen club meeting and at pen shows, and I'm going to wish I had one. So,
You're going to be tortured.
yeah. So I have one set aside for me.
Awesome.
And how about you?
I believe that since I took the Sailor Pro Gear Slim Frambois for New Year's, I think I might be getting a blueberry.
I think you have the largest collection of Sailor Pro Gear Slims this side of
Japan?
Japan.
No,
I think you might.
It's not big enough yet.
It's not big enough. Okay. It's a pretty pen. In fact, I'm going to procure it this afternoon, probably right after the podcast. So that'll be nice. And we'll have those in our pockets. Now, speaking of Sailor, we're going to move into
lots of news.
lots of news. You may have seen it on the blog on Monday morning. A big announcement from Japan due to increased popularity, heavy backlog. Orders for Sailor Naginata Togi and Saibi Togi have temporarily been suspended. All orders, so basically what that means, all orders that have been placed will be honored and will be shipped in the agreed upon time frame, but we will not be able to order any more Naginata Togi or Saibi Togi nibs. This is effective February 1st until they're estimating summer of 2018. So,
That's not necessarily a bad thing.
no.
We became bespoke retailers not quite a year ago, and even back then, there was a huge backlog, and so the only nibs that could be ordered were the Naginata Togi and the Saibi Togi. And then occasionally, a couple pens would squeak out, and we pretty much grabbed up any bespoke pen that we could grab.
Yep.
Anything that became available, so that we had it to offer to customers. But the backlog didn't really diminish. And so there are pens, we've got a lot of pens we ordered that it's going to take forever to get. I think that
Well, the order time frame was about 12 months. So 12 months are actually coming up on some of these relatively quickly. So we do expect this spring we should be getting another shipment in. So.
But by suspending this, the nib expert, Yukio Nagahara, has a chance to get caught up, because the U.S. is not the only country who buys nibs from Sailor Japan.
Right.
So there are only so many nibs you can make in a day or a week, and you never, ever want them to rush and risk quality. It's
Yeah.
just... Don't rush perfection.
I believe the number is 10. They make 10 Naginata Togi nibs a day per nib worker, and there are Yukio, and he has 2 assistants, is the last statistic I heard. So we do have a number of them left. Naginata Togi medium fine, probably the heaviest. We do have a couple of Naginata Togi broads, some cross point. We're completely out of Naginata Togi mediums. But if there's something you're interested in, pretty much everything that's on the website is available. If you can put it in your cart, we have it. Questions, give us a call, and we'll be happy to configure. If we can configure it for you, if we don't have it, we'll do our best to do it. So that's one bit of news. And the big news from yesterday, do we have a drum roll? The 1911 Fresca.
This is cool. Fresca blue.
So this is 1911 large and 1911 standard. And
This is a really pretty color.
yeah, it's nice.
It's not aqua, it's not teal, it's a turquoise. It's really pretty. It's quite the departure for Sailor to do a color this bright.
Well,
And I like it a lot. Do
You-
more, Sailor, do more.
especially in 1911. Your choices in 1911 pretty much have always been black with gold, black with rhodium, or you could get maroon, and then there are a couple transparent options that were special order or bespoke only. So a colored 1911 other than black and maroon is unheard of. What I like about this, and is very similar to our slate blue in that regard, the section and the end caps
Yes,
are the same color. Double cap band, rhodium trim, rhodium plated 21 karat or 14 karat nib on the standard, cartridge
Very-
converter.
very well executed. It's just
It's
gorgeous.
nice. So these are, and the best part about this is a special edition for the North American market only.
Yes.
So these aren't even made in Japan.
Well, they're made in Japan.
Well, I
You
mean,
can't buy them in Japan.
they're not sold in Japan. You can't buy them there. You have to buy them from a authorized U.S. Retailer. So finally, we have something the Japanese don't have. Nice looking pen. So these are actually on their way. We are going to have a number of them to pick up. In fact, they're going to get here after we leave. So we've actually placed another order to be delivered to LA. So look for these in our pockets because we've got one of each for each of us
Yes, we do.
that we'll have inked up. But nice looking pen, and I'm excited that that this has come out. I won't call it a limited edition, but it's
There
very
is-
limited in quantity,
It's a
and
small run.
it's a small run. It may or may not. They may or may not do another batch. So. All 7 nibs in both sizes, extra fine, fine, medium, broad, zoom, and music. So it's exciting. It'll be fun to see, and I think this is one of those pens that you're going to see in person. You're going to go, "Ooh, I like it even better in person." It looks good, but I think it's going to look better in person.
I'm excited. I can't wait to get to LA and we get ours before the store.
Maybe,
theirs.
yeah, maybe. I mean, it's hard to say though. We leave Monday, we won't get there till Wednesday. So, but
That's true. I'm excited.
So there's that. So big Sailor news this week. And also, we're going to get into some paper. This is new,
Oh, I love these.
and this is the new, Paper Blanks refreshes their lineup pretty much every year. About this time? Is that about right?
Yeah,
Give or
this-
take?
Right around the National Stationery Show, which I believe either just happened or I believe it just happened.
Yep.
A lot of the paper companies come out with new things. Rhodia, Exaclair, Exacompta do the same thing. Paper Blanks definitely has done quite a revamp of their line, added several new patterns and designs. This is one of my favorites.
This
They're-
is the Chloe.
Yes, these are just absolutely gorgeous.
It's nice. So a lot of these standard mini,
Yes.
ultra, grande, the standard sizes. A good number. There must have been maybe 20,
Yeah, I haven't.
25.
We've got them on the website. I haven't even finished with the
New
descriptions
designs?
of them
Yep.
yet. Really pretty ones. They, of course, at the same time have eliminated a couple that I guess for them didn't sell as well. A couple of them I really liked. I tried to order whatever they had left, and they're sold out. So I believe that what's on the website should be accurate for inventory. But check out the new designs. Some of them are just.
Yeah, they're nice.
There's a holographic one that you like.
Yeah, that's kind of neat. There's 2 holographic ones that you shift it and the design it changes color.
The Matrix and the Quantum.
Mm-hmm,
And then there are some painted botanicals that have a vintage look and feel to them, sort of like Audubon for flowers. It's just really, those are pretty. A lot of really good designs. Nothing really boring.
Yeah, they're very, very solid this year. There's usually 1 or 2 designs that I'm kind of like, these are nice. So I've always liked the paper blanks. The paper is thick. Unless you've got a really broad, wet nib, you're in pretty good shape with these. So feathering is minimal to none,
Yeah,
really.
I'm really impressed with the paper.
So anyway, there's that. This is a perfect candidate for Incorrimo.
I know, I love these.
Giallo, and they come out with a couple of new note cards.
Yes, you've got the heart, the Eden, and the daisy that we just got in, and they're either gold or silver metallic. I think there's a white, an ivory, and a,
Pretty conservative, I think. The King Tut limited edition. I believe it only comes in fine and medium nibs. They use the Delta Fusion nib. Interesting color choice. It's a brown and a light brown kind of swirl pattern. And not over the top. And I think, sometimes some of the Deltas in the past have been a little bit too thematic. There've been too many things trying to get into the design, and I think this one is just enough that it's not completely crazy.
it's a little less gaudy and ornate, a little simpler, but it's not bad.
Yeah. In the Fusion nib, despite all the marketing hoopla, is really a good nib. I have an 82, Fusion 82, and the nib is fantastic. It's really a good nib. It's a nice looking nib, and it writes very well. So, King Tut, I don't know what more to say about the King Tut. It's cool. Check it out. Let's move to the complete opposite end of the price spectrum, I think. These are cool.
These are cool.
These are back in stock. Montblanc nib cleaners. Nobody else has a product like this that I'm aware of. It's just such a neat little thing. I think we have one of these downstairs that Chris uses.
I want one.
It's they're cool. They're nib cleaners. They come in a box of 8. You can get them singly if you want. But they're like a little finger pouch.
Like a pocket.
Little pocket, and you put your nib in it after you ink it up, and I'll show you. Here's what it looks like on the inside. It's like felt, white felt in the inside, and so you can see pretty much when it's been used up. But it takes the ink right off the nib. So, sometimes people are taking all these pictures of what they call nib creep when there's ink on top of the nib, and quite frankly, I want my nib to be pristine. I want it to be nice and clean after I've inked it up. Show the beauty of the engraving, and with this you can do it. You just slide it in and you wipe it and you pull it off.
They're cool.
Yeah, it's a neat little package, and they're not expensive. You get them, you toss them when they're done. They've got the little Montblanc logo stamped into them.
But I mean, you can reuse them several times.
Yeah, well, you can use them for a couple weeks at least, depending on how much you're inking up your pens. But
it's cool.
So that's the wrap up of what's going on. New stuff in the store. Next week we are probably skipping the podcast. It's going to be too difficult to do while on the road, but we will have a recap when we get back.
We will.
On Wednesday.
Yeah, I doubt that we'll be able to podcast from the car through the Rockies. Wednesday we'll be getting into LA.
Well, we can't guarantee any particular time, so I'm just gonna say right now we're not gonna do it. If it happens, it'll be impromptu, and that'll be that. So, but hopefully we will be seeing a bunch of you in LA at the show. And the show, I guess we didn't mention, the show is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
The 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th.
And Thursday's kind of like
Thursday's a weird day. It's going to be a half day in a third of the ballroom, like it was last year, which caused quite a lot of
drama,
heated comments. I think pen people don't do change well sometimes, and so we've all been used to having the whole ballroom for most of the time, and then to find out when you arrive that you can't just set up in your spot, and you've got a much closer quarters. Not everybody handled that well last year. So it's the same thing this year. Hopefully more people know in advance and can plan accordingly. But it's a good show and a great opportunity to see a lot of pens and people you don't normally see.
Yeah, we won't have ink set up until Friday.
Correct.
Thursday, we're gonna go minimalistic, if at all. We've got a couple of binders of some vintage stuff that I've been hoarding. Waterman Music Nib, Vacuumatic Maxima oversize in red. I've also got a nice reticulated Vacuumatic and some snorkels that I'll be bringing. So we'll have some vintage on Thursday if we get in and set up. So, but we won't have the ink until Friday.
Nope, but we'll have a couple binders of
Yeah,
sailors.
we'll have
so-
Sailor out, you know.
Of course.
So,
Come on.
but anything else this week?
No, I think that's about it.
All right. Thanks for
Hanging in
Hanging
throughout
in
the
there.
technical difficulties.
but tune in 2 weeks. We'll see you in LA, and we'll talk more about pens, paper, and ink.
Follow the blog for news, ink reviews, all sorts of other things, articles and blog posts, and check out all of our social media. We're on as Anderson Pens.
Have a great day, everyone.